Good morning, children. How is it going? I hope you're all keeping fine. How was the weekend? Did you learn the second scene? I told you this week I'll start with the third scene, uh, and I told you to be thorough with the second scene. I hope you all have learned. Okay, so this is the first term portion. Okay, so after finishing this only we can start the second term portion. Okay, so please learn the everyday lesson. Okay, otherwise it will be difficult for you. Okay, so act 1 scene 3. Okay, so this scene takes place at a public place in Venice. And you know that in the first scene, that is the end of the first scene, we find Antonio instructing Bassanio to borrow money from anyone in Venice, and he will be the guarantor. Okay, now you can see Bassanio approaching Shylock for a loan of 3,000 ducats, and that is for 3 months. And Shylock is hesitant to give him. Okay, and you know, Shylock is a Jew and he dislikes Christians. And moreover, Antonio has insulted him many times. Okay, so when he wants money from him, he now tells how he was insulted by Antonio. Okay, and about the characterization. Okay, uh, you can see that Shylock is one of the most controversial characters created by Shakespeare, and he is introduced as the fixed figure of the 17th century Jew. Okay, and the Jews, you know, they're crafty and it is cruel. And Shylock is waiting for a chance to catch Antonio upon the hip and feed fat the ancient grudge he bears him. So this Shylock has got a grudge against him because of the insults that he had bore. So he was waiting for a chance to take revenge upon Antonio. And see, Shylock has good reason for his hatred to Antonio. Because you know what are the reasons? Antonio lends money without interest and thus brings down the rate of interest. So Shylock is a usurer, okay, or a money lender. So what is Shylock? Or Shylock is a money lender, or you can say usurer, and he lends money for interest. And here Antonio is a person who does not take interest. So he brings down the rate of interest. And so Shylock did not like Antonio. And further, you can see Shylock telling how he was insulted many times by Antonio. We will come across that passage. Okay? So here Shakespeare presents the strong character Shylock as a shrewd, cunning, and crafty person. Okay, so he knows the dangers of Antonio's business ventures. So that's why he was reluctant to lend money to him. Okay, and in this scene, Antonio is portrayed as a true friend of Bassanio, who is ready to risk his life to help his friend. And you can see how generous he is and how willing he is here to help Bassanio, and that is admirable. Okay, and about Bassanio, what we can tell about Bassanio is that um, he is a carefree young man, as we saw in the first scene, and he was leading a luxurious life, taking loans from Antonio. Um, However, in this scene, Bassanio's loyalty to Antonio comes to light. Okay, and he is not willing, or he does not want Antonio to sign the bond, which was dangerous. Okay, so in the Elizabethan age, there was a hostility between the Jews and the Christians. Okay, and that is highlighted in the scene. That means there was a hatred between the Jews and the Christians, and the Christians were persecuting the Jews, and the Jews were actually hated race because of their practice of usury. Usury means lending money, taking interest, lending money on interest. Okay, and in this scene, money plays an important role for both Antonio and Bassanio, as well as for Shylock. So here, for Shylock, money is a passion, and for Bassanio, money is a means to achieve something, and he needs money to win Portia, his love, and Antonio needs money to help Bassanio. Okay, and in this scene, you can see that uh, the contrast between Shylock and Antonio. And Antonio seems to be a knave in contrast to Shylock. Shylock has money which Antonio wants to borrow, but he does not really understand Shylock's intentions. Okay, in fact, Antonio puts his life in the hands of an enemy. And again, Shylock is a cunning and crafty, while Antonio is easygoing and trustworthy. Okay, that's why I said there he is a, a, a knave contrast to Shylock. Okay, now um, we will start the third scene. Okay, so Act 1, Scene 3, a street in Venice in front of Shylock's house. Enter Bassanio and Shylock. 3,000 ducats. Well, So Shylock tells 3,000 ducats. Okay. So what did you understand from this? So Bassanio had come to Shylock and asked for a loan of 3,000 ducats. So that's why Shylock said, well, okay, you want 3,000 ducats? Bassanio, sir, for 3 months. So Bassanio tells that it is only for 3 months. That means by the end of the third month, he will give back, or he will clear his debt. Shylock, for 3 months. Well, then again he's asking, oh, for 3 months. Bassanio, for the which, as I told you, Antonio shall be bound. So Bassanio says that, okay, for this credit, that is for 3,000 ducats, Antonio will be the surety, or Antonio shall be bound. That means Antonio will be legally responsible for the money that Bassanio is borrowing from Shylock. Antonio shall be bound means, what did you understand from that? Antonio shall be bound. That means Antonio will be the legally responsible, or Antonio will be legally responsible for the money that Bassanio is borrowing from Shylock. Or in other words, you can say Antonio will be the guarantor. Okay. Shylock, Antonio shall become bound. Well, okay. So he said, yes, Antonio will be your guarantor, or he will be your security, or he will be your surety. Okay. So Shylock says that, Bassanio, may you stead me? Will you pleasure me? Shall I know your answer? So Bassanio is requesting him. See, may you stead me? May you stead me? That means, will you? Yes. Will you do me the favor? Or will you give me the money? Shall I know your answer? Okay, this is what because Bassanio want an answer, or yes or no, whether Bassanio will, sorry, whether Shylock will lend him the money or not. Okay, so again, he's asking whether he will give him the money. So that's why he asked, may you stead me? Will you help me? Okay, or will you do me that favor? Will you pleasure me? Shall I know your answer? Shylock, 3,000 ducats for 3 months, and Antonio bound. Okay, so again he is telling, okay, 3,000 ducats and you want it for 3 months, and Antonio will be your guarantor. Okay. Bassanio, you answer to that? Okay. So Bassanio says he wants an answer. Okay. He wants an answer to that request. Okay, that's what he says. You answer to that. Shylock, Antonio is a good man. So Shylock admits that Antonio is a good man. Okay, why does Shylock say that Antonio is a good man? Okay, here when Shylock tells that Antonio is a reliable man, when he says that Antonio is a good man, it means that Antonio is a reliable man in financial dealings, okay, or he is trustworthy. Antonio is a reliable man in financial dealings, so he can be the guarantor. That's what Shylock tells Bassanio. Have you heard any invitation on to the contrary? So Bassanio again asks whether Shylock has heard any allegation against Antonio or opposite to this. Okay. Have you heard any invitation to the contrary? Have you heard, or whether Shylock has heard anything against him? Shylock, oh no, no, no. My meaning in saying he is a good man is to have you understand me that he is sufficient. Okay. So Shylock immediately says, no, no, no. That means, yeah, he has not heard anything against Antonio like that. He, when he says that he's a good man, he is a reliable man, or he can lend him money. My meaning in saying he's a good man is to have you understand me that he is sufficient. That means he is, according to Shylock, he is a sufficient person. That means he is a satisfactory guarantor or satisfactory security or surety. Okay. Yet his means are in supposition. Still, or but his means are in supposition. So he says that, but his resources, his means, his resources, or his fortunes are supposed to be, or supposed to the risk of failure. Okay. Anything can happen at any time. That's what he means. His resources have been in the risk of failure. Okay. He had an argosy bound to Tripolis. So he has a big merchant ship or a merchant ship that has gone to Tripolis, another to the Indies, another one to the West Indies. I understand, moreover, upon the Rialto. Then again, Shylock says that he came to know all this from the Rialto. Now, what is Rialto? Rialto, Rialto is the name of the business quarters of Venice. Or you can say that is the name of the stock exchange in Venice. Okay, Rialto is the stock exchange in Venice. This is the place where all the merchants gather there for their business transactions. Okay, Rialto. So he says that he came to know all this when he came to Rialto. He had a third at Mexico, and he had another ship, that is the third one at Mexico, a fourth for England. A fourth has set out for England, and other ventures he had, and he has other business ventures also, which had squandered abroad. And so This is what he tells. Okay, he has and other business ventures that in other places. Okay, squandered abroad. Now, but ships are but boats. But so he says, see, after all, the ships are but boats. Boats mean ships are made of planks of wood. That means anything can happen when they are sailing in the sea. Sailors but men. And what about the sailors? Sailors are mortal men. Anything can happen to them. There be land rats and water rats, water thieves and land thieves. So, in the sea, there are rats, water rats, then thieves. That means the pirates at any time they can come. Okay. So, okay, he says that pirates. And then there is the peril of waters. There are many dangers in the sea. What are the dangers? The winds and rocks. Okay, if there is a violent storm, surely it can wreck a ship. That's why. Then, if there are hidden rocks, the rocks can also wreck a ship. The man is notwithstanding sufficient. So, notwithstanding all this, he is sufficient. So, Shylock admits that Antonio is a sufficient or he is a satisfactory guarantor. 3,000 ducats, I think I may take his bond. So he says that, okay, 3,000 for 3,000 ducats, he has to take a bond, okay, for his or to accept him as a security, he has to take his bond. Bassanio, be assured you may. Okay, so Bassanio says that uh, Shylock can. Shylock, I'll be assured I may, and that I may be assured. I will bethink me. May I speak with Antonio? So, so Shylock, he's the one giving the money or lending the money. So he says that yes, he should be convinced. Okay, so in order to be convinced, okay, he says that he has to think it over. And again, this, okay, he has only talked to Bassanio. He didn't meet Antonio. So he wants to know what Antonio tells about this. Okay, so he says, may I speak with Antonio? So he says he has to talk to Antonio about this. Bassanio, if it please you to dine with us. So Bassanio invites Shylock to have dinner with them. Okay, dinner with Bassanio and Antonio. So Bassanio invites Shylock to have dinner with them. Shylock, yes, to smell pork, to eat of the habitation which you prophet the Nazareth conjured the devil into. I will buy with you, sell with you, talk with you, walk with you, and so following. But I will not eat with you, drink with you, nor pray with you. What news on Rialto? Who is he comes here? Enter Antonio. Okay, so Shylock, when Bassanio invites Shylock to have dinner with them, he says, yes, what? To smell pork? Okay, so Jews, they consider the swine or the pork or the pig as an unclean animal. Okay, so uh, he does not eat pork. So he says, yes, should I come with you to have dinner with you just to smell the pork, to eat the habitation? So here habitation means to eat the flesh of the animal which your prophet the Nazareth, okay, conjured the devil into, which your prophet, here Shylock, okay, refers the prophet here, that means Jesus Christ, okay, because you know that the Jews did not consider Jesus Christ as the Son of God. They did not accept Jesus as the Savior. They did not believe in Jesus. Okay, they thought their Savior is going to be born, or he'll be born as a King of Kings and Lord of Lords in a rich family. Okay, so they never accepted Jesus as the Son of God or the Savior. So that's why he referred to Jesus Christ as your prophet, the Nazareth. Okay, so he was born in Nazareth, he's from Nazareth, so that's why Jesus is called as a Nazareth. So your prophet the Nazareth conjured the devil into, you know, when Jesus was here, he found, or he came across two men who were possessed. Okay, so he commanded the devils to come out of these two men. So these two men were possessed by the evil spirits. So Jesus commanded the evil spirit to come out of these men, and these devils or these evil spirits came out of these men, and then they went into the body of the swines, or there was a herd of swine, a group of pigs were there, and the evil spirit, these evil spirit, they entered the body of the pigs. That's why Shylock here referred as, see, should I eat the flesh of the animals in which your prophet had conjured the devils into? That's what he says, like that. I will buy with you. So he says, see, I can buy with you. That means I can have business with you, sell with you, buy with you, sell with you. That means he is ready to have business transactions with the Christians, talk with you, walk with you. That means be friendly with them, can have or can be friends with the Christians, and so following. But I will not eat with you. But he says that he will not have dinner with them, or he will not eat with them, because the Christians are pork eaters, and the Jews consider pork as an unclean animal. Okay, so he will not eat with them, drink with them, nor pray with them. So Christians pray in the churches, and the Jews pray in the synagogue. So that's why he says he will not pray with them also. And what news on the Rialto? So again, Shylock asks, okay, what is the news from the Rialto, from the stock exchange? And now he finds somebody coming there. Who is that? Who is he? Comes here. Now Antonio comes there. Enter Antonio. Okay. So children, I'm going to stop here. Okay. You have to read the lesson, okay, clearly, and read the meaning on the right side of the text. Okay. So go through it, read today itself and don't keep it for tomorrow. Tomorrow, that means the next day, I'll be taking the next part and it will be a burden for you to understand altogether. So, please learn this part. Okay, I'll be asking questions in the next class. Okay, so bye. We'll meet in the next class. Okay.